Ticket Machine is the official ticket broker of Spartan Nation. No matter what you need a ticket for, border to border, coast to coast, the Ticket Machine is your ticket source. So whether you need to get into the hottest concerts, the best sporting events, you want the best seats in the house, or you just want to get in the door, when you want to go to any event that requires a ticket, anywhere, border to border, coast to coast, it's always theticketmachine.com. Theticketmachine.com, 517-655-3201. Check it out today at theticketmachine.com.
Disappointing outcome. Obviously, when you look at the football game, you get on a wave of momentum going up on the other side of the field, and things just don't go right. We didn't separate with our receivers. We didn't throw the ball accurately. We didn't protect our quarterback. Couldn't run the football. Compounded by a couple other things, with offensively turnovers. Defensively, didn't tackle well. We got outflanked, which is coaching. We didn't pressure their quarterback well enough. Didn't stop the run. So consequently, a meltdown happens, and you got to give Ohio State credit, a lot of credit. They came in ready to play a football game, and obviously we could not, match up with them in terms of the momentum of the game and the different things that happen in a football game. So consequently, you see what happens. They sack us 6 times, and I think basically a couple of them were at the end. But anytime you give up 3 or 4 sacks, negative things are going to happen. We had an opportunity early in the game. I thought our best drive was probably our first drive, and it sort of petered out a little bit. And then they snapped the ball over the quarterback's head. We got to get that ball. Maybe we can make it a little bit interesting. But too many things going on in that football game to win a football game. Give them credit. I'll take questions.
Is there any, for a young group that's had a lot of, I don't want to say a charmed season, but a lot of things have gone well for this group, is there value in an afternoon like this?
Well, I believe that if you look for things, there's always value in any experience that you have. No matter how negative it can become, there's going to be value in that if you learn from it. And you're right. I mean, we've scratched and we've scrambled the wins, and we've won at the end of games and things of that nature. And we played extremely hard. Very difficult to continue to play hard when it's 35 zip or whatever, 35-3.5. You got to come out and try and take one play and just put it on the back of another play and just try and get better as you go and just try and move it. But difficult to do. And so then you see it. But there's going to be something to learn from every experience our guys have. We've got a lot of young players, but some of it you just got to play better too. We'll learn our lessons in those areas.
How much do you feel like their secondary speed with your young wideouts was just different? How much was it you guys not playing well? I mean, there seemed to be some factors that were them just simply being better in certain areas.
Well, I don't think we threw the ball effectively. Last week he was on top of it. This week, not so much. Consequently, go back to what I said before. You got to be able to run the ball too. Take pressure off of the throwing game and protect the quarterback. They pressured us. Their front 7 is very good. Their front 4 and different people that they play is very good. In the back end, they manned us up, pressed us, and we didn't win enough. And some of the times we did win, the ball was not there for us, whether it's because of pressure or it's because of accuracy or whatever the case. And on the flip side of things, we've been playing pretty well defensively throughout the entire year, and really we just came apart. We didn't tackle well enough. We got outflanked, as I said. I think we didn't make the trip. When we did pressure and move our gaps, guys didn't cross face. They got stuck on a block, which creates a seam, which you get an 82-yard touchdown run. That can be devastating at times. So you come into the game in 9 games, giving up about 80 yards a game. I think we gave up 300 and some, which is, I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen. So we've got to deal with it.
Mark, was there any, I don't want to say indication something like this was coming, but I know it's a young team to see that 330 plus on the ground. How difficult is that for you to see that number when you've been so effective against the run all season?
Well, it's just like everything else. We didn't play well in any area, and this is, and again, there's a reason for that. Ohio State played well, but we didn't play well enough in any area to really, make it a game. that's the bottom line, and that's what's disappointing. Our games have been very, very competitive with Ohio State the last number of years, and this one was not. So we learn from that, and we move forward. As we learn from things. But I don't know. Got to look at the film and understand that. And there's some things schematically, and there's some coaching things obviously too. But it's a group effort, win or lose.
Mark, your offensive line has been really good in pass protection most of this year. It seemed like especially on that left side, there was just no shot early for Brian, and that sort of got things out. Is that hard to fix there?
When you pressure the quarterback, all of a sudden that quarterback's going to get a little edgy too, a little uncomfortable in the back there. So it's a team game. When he's throwing well, he's usually got good protection, where there's separation or maybe some different things going on. We didn't attack the perimeter well enough. So it's all encompassing.
Had you dealt with a pass rush of that caliber yet? That quickness?
I would say based on this year, no. What I've seen this year, no. But we knew this coming in. I look at Ohio State. They had lost 2 games, and I had to listen to how poorly the media treated Urban Meyer this week, to be quite honest. And I had to listen to all the things that he was hearing, which I'm sure I'll hear now. But when you look at the games, the Oklahoma game, that game was extremely competitive in the first half. Really into the third quarter, deep into the third quarter. The same thing happened in the game against Iowa. I mean, they were competitive. They were right there, and then something happened. Well, something happened to us today too. Turnovers, not being able to run the ball, not being able to stop the run. And you can look across the country right now, and you can see that these things are happening to a lot of good football teams. So the major thing is, to me, is what's the response that we give? What's the response?
Mark,
that response won't be known until next Saturday.
Not a lot of games like this in your 11 years here.
No.
Through the times you have had games like this, have you learned that the key is to getting this team to bounce back and turn around and not let it?
If we would have won the football game today, the key would be, what are we going to do next? I've always taken that approach. After a big game, what happens? I thought coming into the game, I thought we were ready to play this football game, but then as closer as the game got, the closer as it got, and then in the locker room, maybe, I don't know, maybe we're a little, if it could be, maybe we're a little flat. I don't know. But, we didn't start fast on defense, which we have done. And when bad things starts to happen, that tests your confidence in everything else you're doing. So then you start trying to massage different things situationally, try to change things that you haven't practiced and things of that nature, and that becomes difficult.
Of all the offenses that you guys have faced that run that tempo, where does this one rank in terms of speed and power?
Well, the speed and the tempo was very good for them, and early in that first series, we were getting the signal, they're lining up, and guys were turning, they're turning their head, and we were right on this, and the ball's being snapped. And I thought we were getting the defenses in as fast as we could, but they were still not fast enough. So consequently, there's some things that I don't think we were ready to play. And I've said this over and over to our football team. The most important thing that we do is have good pre-snap recognition, and so that you understand offense, defense, and everything. Pre-snap recognition of what's going on, so you can think. And then you've got to have great eye control. And then you have to take your good initial steps, and then you have to finish, regardless of what that technique is. And I don't think that we got to that point where we were taking good initial steps because we weren't doing the first thing, which we weren't lined up ready to play some. But these things snowball. There's other reasons, and the first thing that should be said is Ohio State played very well.
What was your message to the guys after the game? I mean,
Just what I've just told you, really. I mean, what's your response? What's our response? And there's, these are life moments for all of us. Life isn't always going to be the best or the greatest. You're going to have disappointments in your life, and you're going to have to handle them. And we've had them. I've said this before up here in front of everybody. We've had them before, so get back on the horse. Let's go. See where we end up. But I still think we got a good football team, and we're going to find out a little bit more about ourselves next week. And just we would adjust regroup.
Mark, were you hoping to get Brian get some sort of rhythm or something going late in the game before you took him out, just to have something to carry over to?
Yeah, a little bit, and he did have a little bit of a rhythm, but I thought that in retrospect to everything, I thought Messiah DeWeaver needed an opportunity to play a little bit. He has not played in 9 games. And certainly Damian Terry has had experiences here as a quarterback and played on the field. But DeWeaver's a redshirt freshman. He's not played. And prior to that series, I said, hey, next series, let's get Messiah in there. And the series went along as one we actually drove down the field a little bit. And I just wanted to give him an opportunity to play. And even though the night not has gone as well as he wanted it to, he had some snaps and he has some film that shows this is what it's like. He runs in the game without his wristband on. Well, if you're the quarterback and you go off a wristband, you got to have your wristband in. It's like not running out there without your helmet on. Okay, so something was drawn from that. Some experience was drawn from that. I just felt like it was warranted.
Anything else from Coach?
Yeah, Mark, when you're talking about wide receivers not winning or pass protection or various things, how much of that is physically not being able to match up at certain positions, which can relate to youth, and how much of it might be a poise factor, or are you going to have to wait to see film to exactly?
I think there's probably everything. There's a little of everything in that question, in that leading question. Okay. I think it's experience. I think it's poise. I think it's ability at times with certain players you're matched up against. But you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. In pass rush situations or in one-on-one situations, you're going to win. Let's say that you're a great player and that guy's a great player. You're going to win 5 out of 10. Okay, so got to do the math a little bit and look at the film and evaluate the film. But it's not going to be pretty. But we need to evaluate it and look at it and learn from it. That's good.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Bring players up.